river, but yeah, Oregon bark scorpions. They're usually around the base of trees all the time. That's where they live. I'm a firefighter. I've seen them everywhere. Nobody ever fucking believed me.
Whoa.
Yeah, there you go.
They do exist. All right, now how do we make him move the other direction so he doesn't get ran over?
Right,
all right, well, do we have a stick we can poke him with and show that he actually works? All right.
Oh, don't you?
Try not to hurt him. Let me get a stick.
Yeah.
I know you're trying not to hurt him, and I do see a stick. All right, here's what we're gonna do. Sorry. We're gonna try to get him to move. Oh, damn. Oh, shit, he's coming after me.
Yeah, they're kind of aggressive, dude.
All right. Well, if he gets squished, he gets squished. It's not our fault.
Come on, dude. All right. Yeah, he's doing good.
I'm sure there's more. But yeah, it was pretty cool. I'm glad I got to show that. Let me see if I can turn this around. Yes, indeedy. All right, I'm trying to get it to where I can. God, why won't it work? I must. Oh, there's a tree in the way of that light. All right. Oh, there's the Astro. And of course, here's it's a wind sale shop. What's this place called again? Big Winds? Big Winds.
They're in between the event site and the harbor.
All right, now I'm afraid to stick my fingers in there because what if someone sticks a scorpion in it? Oh God, now I gave someone ideas. Yeah. Now everybody's gonna have a complex about sticking their fingers in there to get their change out. Look what I've done. It's gonna be a national epidemic and nobody's ever gonna put their money in the change machines again. Yeah, I know it looks like a fucking mortuary. There's another one on the other end of town that looks like a mortuary. Doesn't it? The only thing it's missing is the double doors, but if you look at the distance between the doors, you can tell that it used to have it. Yeah. And of course, this is one of the parking rides.
I love how diesel is a byproduct of gas and it's more expensive than gas.
Well, the folks over here are pretty badass, actually. The ones who work here now.
Yeah, Astro, dude. All the people over here are dope. I love you guys. Fucking great people. All of them. I've never had a problem here with customer service or anything.
They may not understand everything, but a lot of them have been homeless, so they understand things that a lot of folks don't. I was just gonna check one more of these parking meter machines. All right, and that'll be this one right here. Now, what else do I need? Them wind scorpions, or what are they called?
Bark scorpions.
Bark scorpions. Them are gnarly looking, ain't they? Oh my God, I found a penny. A penny. And another penny. All right. We're rich. We can buy ourselves a mansion and a yacht. We can put our 2 cents in. Oh my God, I found some more. Oh, there's an officer pulling into their situation for the evening. All right, well, I'm headed the other way. That's where my car is at. Anyway, one of these, like up here, there's a lot of people who use skateboards. especially but not limited to homeless people. So with Logan and Shayna both skateboarding and Paul skateboarding, it's important to pick up the sticks that are on the trail. If I'm over the river, I just kick them into the river. They're sticks. It's not going to hurt anybody. And of course, if it's along the walking trail where it's got forest on either side, then I take the sticks and I throw them over the side. And if it's something that's more than just basic trash that I can put in a trash bag, anything that's substantial enough to stop a skateboard, I usually pick that up. But for the majority of the time, it's just as I walk down the road, you never know when you're going to need to pull over. If you get a flat tire or a blowout, the last thing you want to have happen is have a second one blow out when you pull over to the side. And this is where a lot of stuff ends up, a lot of debris. Sometimes your tire hits it at the right angle and it slides off the road a little bit. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it hits at the right angle and it goes through somebody's windshield.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I avoid that. I'd rather hurt myself than have somebody else get hurt or damage somebody else's thing.
Yep. Now this road here, I'm not as afraid. If I see, like, let's say the construction area. Oh, what's that animal? Is that a raccoon or is that like a small dog?
I didn't see it.
It was too big to be a cat. Well, if it was a Maine Coon, I suppose it could be pretty big. But if there's like a screwdriver on the road down here, I'll pick it up, and of course, if it's trash, I'll dispose of it properly. If there's a use for it, especially in immediate use, I'll put it to immediate use. It's part of the road. They're resurfacing it. So what they did is they ground it down, and they're gonna put another layer on top of it, and hopefully it'll last a while longer without cracking.
Like, there's so many other better places to do this at. This road is fine. That's retarded.
Well, don't ask me why they do this
dude,
stuff.
There's a fucking road. There's two roads.
It's kind of like, why can't they help out actual homeless people? Oh yeah, because we need to spend 5 times as much per homeless person to victimize them for an entire year.
Got it. Yeah. Well, I've been going on for a lot longer than that. So.
Well, yeah, it's reciprocated every year.
I'll take that.
Right.
That's a good pin. Always lose these.
Well, I haven't seen anything that would damage a tire yet. Earlier I saw a couple of things. I picked them up.
I hate cigarettes.
Right.
Get fucking cigarette butts up, man. Fuck.
I do.
No, I know you do. I do too. I keep them in my bag.
I pick up
pop it
everybody else's
I
too.
do not. No.
Did I show you the massive pile of garbage?
Yes. Yep. Yep.
I don't get why the city won't pick up that trash. Most of that trash comes from tourists, people driving by on the interstate. That's where the majority of that trash comes from.
Oh, bottom it out. Ooh.
Now, of course, it is odd for me to well, of course, in Boulder, Colorado, I guess, I found weed all the time. But finding mushrooms, that's kind of not my thing. That's a completely different bag of roses. Welcome to Oregon, that's right.
Welcome to Oregon.
Yep. I try to steer clear of drugs. I know that it's legal here and all that crap, just not for me, you know? Anyway, I haven't seen any sticks or anything significant enough to damage a skateboard or send anyone hurling into traffic or skinning the crap out of themselves on the cement or going over the rail. That would suck. I don't think the initial fall would kill you, but if it doesn't break your arms or break your legs so that you can't swim, you would probably still drown. So you wouldn't last long. Moral of the story, if you keep stuff clean, you can decrease safety issues and safety risks inherent. I've seen a lot of accidents happen, and most of the time they're not accidents. And I don't mean as in, somebody hurt themselves on purpose. What I mean is that it was pure negligence. Any idiot could have seen it coming. But the fact is that idiots apparently can't even see the obvious when it's pointing right in their face. A lot of idiots prefer to look the other way and pretend it's not happening. Like some meme they read on the internet or some quote that they're taking out of context from the Bible. Right? Magically fixes everything. It don't. That don't fix shit. Now, I used to have friends that were police officers, and I'm going to tell you something about them. I understand that they're police officers. As soon as they put on those badges, they're not my friends anymore. The reason for that is because it is their job to make you guys happy, even if that means following unlawful orders.
I just don't like contributing to I've met a handful of really good cops across my country.
Well, the problem is they're still crooked because they're not turning in the bad ones. But what happens if they turn in the bad ones? They lose their job.
Or two.
That too. Yeah, I'm fairly certain that would be a death sentence in like Los Angeles County.
Oh, yeah.
They just put a hole through you and say it was gang warfare.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, our cameras didn't work. You sure? There's at least 3 police-involved shootings that happened last year in LA with homeless people where, like, they killed homeless people. Straight up butchered them like cattle. And their cameras didn't work, and then when it was checked out, it turned out that their cameras did work, they just didn't turn them on. They turned them off right before the altercation.
I had a deaf homie in Portland that was shot by the cops when he was trying to grab his notebook and pen to write to him because, he was deaf and couldn't hear the cop that was belligerently fucking screaming at him, and they killed him because he was trying to talk to him. Yeah, that's terrible.
Yep, and that's one of the things I've spoken out about on my channel on more than one occasion is deaf people getting shot because they can't hear you. And in many of these cases, the cops already know that the person is deaf. Not all of them, though. And I don't understand how when a concerned mother calls because her deaf child is threatening to cut his own throat with a knife, I don't understand how the police blowing his fucking head off was helping the situation or defusing it.
Terrible.
It is.
Terrible.
All right. We're almost to my shit pit. We'll see if there's enough moonlight to see these bags of garbage. Nope, there ain't.
Oh, I like him. He's cool.
Oh, Paul?
What's that?
Yeah. Alright, so here's the 3 garbage bags. Oh, somebody else added a garbage bag. Oh my god, somebody took a shit out here somewhere too. Alright, so there's my car. I'm where I need to be for the night. I think I'm gonna head to bed.
Yeah,
Good to see you.
I'll see you guys.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, dude.
Alright. He don't mean no harm, and obviously he does have a lot of useful information. Some of his stuff seems a little far-fetched for me to believe. Although most of his information is actually good information. It's just a matter of being able to separate fact from fiction when it comes to a person who can't tell fact from fiction all the time. But usually when it's bullshit, it's blatant and outright bullshit, which is helpful. It helps you to identify what's useful information versus what isn't. A lot of times people who get stuck in the freeze loop like that, they're going to remember who it is that abused them and did them wrong. So those memories are usually pretty spot on. Those are traumatic events in their lives. Abuse is the gateway drug. I keep hearing about all these other things that are gateway drugs. Oh, we want to say marijuana is the gateway drug. Marijuana. It's always got to be marijuana, doesn't it? Well, in fact, in reality, it's not marijuana, it's abuse. And most of it is alcohol-induced abuse. Now we want to absolve ourselves of our sins, don't we? It's so much easier to absolve ourselves of our sins if we put them onto someone else. It's someone else's fault that we did wrong things. And of course, in some cases, that is the truth. In some cases, it is not. For me, starting my vehicle right now with people actually sleeping in the parking lot is rude as shit. But I'm down to 5% battery. It's pretty important for me to be able to communicate. Alright, so here's something that's cool. Although it's in the bottom of my bag, which is not so cool. I got one of these sugar suckers. I'm not sure if you've ever seen one of these. I'll show it to you. It's, got the little wooden stick and it's got the sugar candy on the end of it. Well, I put it in the little thing here and it broke. So, of course, what do I have in my pocket? I'll show you. It's a bunch of little pieces of the sugar candy that broke off. Why is it not? There it is. So it's a bunch of little pieces of the sugar candy that broke off. That'd definitely give somebody the wrong idea, so I'm cleaning that out. I don't want people to be able to pretend or confuse nothing that is in my fucking vehicle for something it ain't. Alright. I do worry about that with my candles too. Some of them kind of melted a little bit in the heat, so they're not exactly in the best shape. So, yeah, I mean, most of these guys don't mean any harm. That guy that I was just walking with, he's got some pretty nutty ideas. But also, he does know the area. He knows a lot of stuff that I don't. It's just a matter of getting the useful information from the crap. Just as with anyone, there's tells that they have. Mostly body language, or of course, their tone of voice. That's extremely important. A lot of these officers thought that they were gonna tone bully me, so I did it back to them, and then they whined like mules that I was bullying them back. Oh, poor dearies. How dare you yell at me? I'm not yelling at you yet. When people started doing that crap, accusing me of yelling at them because I am making sure that my voice is heard, I am the victim. I am going to make sure that it is my voice that's heard, because it's your personal fucking problems when your job is to do something about it. Your personal problems should never come into it. Ever. You can't do the right thing because of your personal shit. Well, then you need to get a different fucking job. You get to hear from the professionals themselves that I was sent to why it is that they didn't do their jobs. Everything from it's not their job, to also it's not their job, to it's someone else's job, to they're afraid they'll lose their job. And of course, many other fears, including their personal lives, their children, and their grandchildren, and so on and so forth. I'm like, how the hell is it that you are so afraid, as a therapist, to come forward about this shit? If you are that afraid, and this is the reality that you are telling me about, then why aren't you coming forward with it, and why haven't you? Why is it that the professional opinions that she had in those videos, why is it that that professional opinion is being ignored? Why? How is that okay? How is that acceptable? When I tried to turn in my predators in law enforcement, the people who didn't do their jobs, the people whose job it was to do something about this abuse, when I tried to turn them in, they were allowed to do whatever they wanted to me. Law enforcement anywhere can do that, as long as you're broke. When we talk about the race issue, most of the race issue at this point is that they're broke. When the cops screw up and they get somebody who owns a house or lives in a place at least, when they screw up and do that, well, then there's hell to pay, because the civil rights folks want to get involved, but not when it comes to a homeless person. For a homeless person who's been abused, there is a chance that they can actually stop the abuse and get some effective change. Like with Michelle Rodriguez. You know why she was able to do something effective? It's because she had help in person. And because she had help getting into a place. Those two things are very important to have at the same time. Help to do the work and a place to do the work. And if you don't have both at the same time, I mean, that's like having a car without gas and then having gas without a car. It's just not of any fucking use. When most of your help is busy smoking meth or shooting up heroin or getting drunk as a fucking skunk, it's a tough thing to contend with, because those are people's addictions. That's how they cope with the abuse that they've endured. And it's a horrible thing to see, and it's also a horrible thing to live through, because now your loved ones are doing horrible things to you that will affect the rest of your life. And they're not thinking twice about doing it to you. It's because the drugs are what's important. They tell you about all of these bad guys that they need help getting away from, but then it's the pull of those drugs and the fact that people like Tim Beeson and Ted Bollinger have those drugs. Those drugs are readily available. Plus, there's all the people that they dealt to back in the day that are now dealers themselves. And of course, Natalie and Alicia are two girls that everybody wanted the set of, Maddie Boa especially. Somebody was typing stuff at me, typed, piss up over at Daryl Ferguson's. Alright, MRRM the Cahooligan, could you stop spamming, please? It's rude and inconsiderate. If you can be helpful and useful and possibly share the information, that would be greatly appreciated. I can't force you to do that, but, you know, coming on and spamming is just, that's uncomfortable for me. I make these videos to try to get help and to try to get the evidence to the police. Trying to do it myself results in me being abused or being lied to about whose jurisdiction it is or whose job it is. Meanwhile, they've shown me these very same agencies and cops have shown me that, yes, it is their jurisdiction, it is their job to do something about it, and they outright lied to me. They didn't know the law or they didn't understand the law is no fucking excuse. It's not. At this point in their careers, they're trying to pull dirty little fucking tricks. Joan Hanson knew goddamn well that what she misled me to believe, as well as Scott DaCosta. That's horrible. Some of my predators, almost 24 of them in law enforcement and, of course, government agencies and positions of power. Almost 24 of them have been arrested so far. Most of them for doing the exact same thing to me that they did to others. Nobody bothered to investigate the crimes against me. Nobody bothered to try to get the body cam evidence or to show it, to show how afraid I was for my loved ones, how I was trying to show the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Now, although I was wrong about who shot Natalie, I figured it was either Tim Beeson because of his controlling nature or Ted Bollinger because I had just exposed him. I'm tired. I'm thirsty. Thank goodness that lady gave me water and she gave me $5 and she gave me that Taco Bell. I've got crackers in here for if I get hungry later. I've got peanut butter that I can put on it, or I can put some Tabasco sauce on it. I'm better off than in most third world countries, I suppose. At least I get to eat. At least I can get to water. We also live in the modern age here in the United States of America, where people expect you to be up to speed on everything electronic. But then, of course, when you're homeless, they want to cast hatred at you if you own anything. If you own a phone, oh, well, they're homeless. How is it that these homeless people have the money to buy a phone but not pay rent? Well, we get the fucking cheap-ass Walmart phone, asshole. That's how we can afford the phone. We have to buy a fucking card every month. With them cards, you know what, it's better than spending $800 on a nice fancy fucking new phone. A lot of us are pretty ancient as far as technology goes. We started off with Nintendo. So we don't know a whole hell of a lot. But those of you younger folks who grew up with that technology, it's second nature to you. For somebody like me, I need somebody to teach me. I need someone to show me in person.